Hey, how's it going, nerds who also happen to be art lovers? Welcome to a video. And in this said video, I want to talk about something that I felt important to address. You know what I mean? Like, I be on social media and stuff, you know how I be. I'm scrolling and I noticed something, okay? I noticed that there's a pandemic. No, not that one. I'm pretty sure we're all tired of hearing about that one. But no, I'm talking about a pandemic with artists. And it's something that I hinted at in like my last 2 or so videos. And it's the pandemic of people who be talking, bruh. Like, I'm referring to the chitty chat artists. That's what I like to call them. You know, these are the people that talk but never do. They're always talking about stuff that they're working on and talk about every single process of it. They're showing you like artwork, key visuals. Sometimes they talk about the story, but the thing is like, it never comes out. And you get the type of people I'm talking about. And if you yourself watching this video right now are one of those people and you've noticed I'm describing you, F in chat. But basically, I don't know who Patient Zero is. I don't know who the first chit chat artist is, but all I do know is that whoever this person is, they seem to have convinced other artists to do the same thing. And I can tell that these poor souls genuinely believe that's what they need to do to become successful, and it's just not. It's not. But I will, however, tell you what is. So jumping right into it, what does it take to become a successful artist in 2022? Now, you know, I might sound like a blubbering idiot to some of you based on my previous videos, and that may or may not be true, but the fact of the matter is, I'm about to graduate with a bachelor's degree in biology, and I have a considerably high GPA. Why biology? I don't know, I have no clue. But my point is, if you know anything about biology students, it's that we're way too familiar with research. So basically, that was my unnecessarily long, roundabout way of telling you that I've done the proper research to talk about this topic. You know, I'm going to be diving into 4 steps. I'm going to talk about things that you may or may not need to be doing to become a successful artist. By the way, for the sake of this video, success as an artist basically means being able to earn a living and also like acquiring acclaim and respect from fans and fellow artists alike, whatever. So anyways, follow me and let's dissect this bit.
Full Metal Alchemist.
The first step is to identify and research. What that means is that you need to identify what type of artist you want to be and what field or whatever, and research it thoroughly. Essentially, you need to realize what you want and find others who are doing the same at a higher level, and then research what it takes to get to their level. So like, for example, let's say you've given it some thought and you decide, you know, I don't know, you want to be a social media painter or like an artist or something. And then you do the research of what it takes to be successful at it. You know, you would look at people like Loish, or Ross Draws, or Sam Does Arts, people who are super successful in that field. And then you gotta see what they do and how they do it. You gotta look into like their every single possible income stream, you know, to see how often they post, the quality of each post, how much or little they may interact with their fans, what other projects they have, like, you know, if they have a Patreon, a YouTube, or maybe they have a course or something. You want to see what they do and how they do it so you can have an idea in your mind of what you want to build. Now, I just used the example of Instagram painter, but like, you know, if you wanted to be a Western comic artist, you can do the same thing with someone like Jorge Jimenez or Whyt Manga if, you know, you want to be a manga artist. Or like, you know, Disney, Pixar, and even Netflix artists, they're on social media. The information is available. There's way more information available for your research than you may realize. Also, like, you reach out to these people like through DMs and straight up ask. They may or may not respond to you, but you know, you're welcome to try, so long as you're not annoying and you're respectful. Anyways, basically, when you've done your due diligence of researching how these people's operations possibly work with the goal of essentially understanding why they're so successful, the next step is taking this information, then using it to build. So this step I'll call the build and sacrifice step. And this is the longest stage in all of this. You know, it's also the hardest, and it's also the stage where 99% of people quit. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, if you stay on this, no matter how long it may take you, keep in mind, it may take years, like I'm talking decades, but if you keep on it, there is no way success is not waiting for you at some point. So what exactly is the step to build and sacrifice? It's the step where you make sacrifices and you get to work. You know, similar to the same things I've been saying in my previous videos where I talk about like it takes work. This is that step. This is where you are drawing the posts you put on social media or the drawings you put in your portfolio. It's the step where you're dropping videos on YouTube or streaming on Twitch or whatever you need to do. And to be very honest, since like the title of this video is being a successful artist in 2022, this is the step where a lot of you want to be building an audience for the most part. Maybe unless you want to work for an animation studio, or if you want to be published by Shonen Jump, Marvel, DC, or whatever, and like solely rely on those people as your sole source of income. But essentially, whether you want to be independent or you want to work for a studio or you want to be published, you're still putting in the work to overall get better, to grow that audience and improve that portfolio. And like I said a little earlier, you gotta sacrifice for it. You know, my dad used to always tell me as a kid that anything worth something in this world does not come without sacrifice. So, for example, I personally gave up video games. I mean, I still play it, but not nearly as much. But think about it this way, my Xbox only comes on once every 2 months. But basically, you get the point of this step. And so yeah, when you finally gotten to the end of this stage in your journey, if you're one of those that want to work for a studio for animation, or you're one of those that want to just work for and be paid by DC or Marvel or Shonen Jump or whatever, that's pretty much all I have for you in this video, to be honest. You know, this is your final stage, because if you pass through this stage, you should have gotten into a studio, or you should have gotten hired by Marvel or DC or whatever. Because for the most part, those guys just want you for your skill and your ability. They don't really care about your social media or any of that. The rest of your journey at this point for you people is pretty much just refinement, staying on game, and if you want, exploring new things and new avenues. But if you want to be independent and you're like essentially like me and you want to be published but have your own sources of income, you should stick around for the next step. And that next step is set up and reap.
Oh my.
Yeah, so after getting past the previous step of focused building, you've now got a decent sized audience. And I'm not talking about empty numbers, I'm talking dedicated, engaged, and loyal fans who love you. I'm talking like you have an audience who will click on anything you want them to click. You know, you need simps. And staying on that topic, across all my research, it's very interesting to find the most successful artists online. Like I'm talking like artists who make doctor money. They all have this in common. They have a blindly loyal, dedicated, and engaged fan base. Like, you know, like I would know. I am one of those dedicated fans to a few artists myself, as I'm sure some of you are to some artists out there too. But yeah, anyways, in this step, you have the audience now. You then set up, sit back, and reap. You know what I mean? You make courses, you put up prints, you make a Patreon, you make a how to draw book and put it up for sale, you put up a comic book or a manga up for sale, you make merch, you start a YouTube channel, you stream, etc. You see what I'm getting at? If you have everything I just listed now set up successfully and you have about 10,000 to 100,000 dedicated fans, you don't even need that much, honestly. You're gonna literally be raking in tens of, matter of fact, scratch that, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, look at people like Ross Draws or Loish or Proco. Like, I personally found this very inspiring. Ross Draws just made the Forbes. Like, to me, he's the person at that highest level of this who's doing this really, really well. And somebody that I actually suggest you research just like I did. And also, you might think that, you know, that's just Diddy Mark, it's just a small percent of people that make that type of money. Nah, bro, I guarantee you, maybe not everyone is making as much as like Ross Draws or some of the other people I mentioned, but a good percent of artists are raking in a lot. You know what I mean? They're raking in a lot of money. Am I saying every single artist and their auntie is making bank? No. But I am saying a good percentage are. Like a good enough percentage to try. Obviously, it goes without saying that reaching this success, air quotes, doesn't mean that your journey is over. It still takes work to stay on game and keep all these sources of income flowing. Whether you're still posting somewhat frequently or engaging with your fans or whatever. Like, I mean, look at Ross Draws, he's still dropping YouTube videos. It takes a strong sense of business to make all this work, so I advise you get acquainted with that as much as you can on the side and stuff. But yeah, on the surface, art and drawing they just seem like fun, right? And it is, and you know, it can be, but it's still very hard work. All of that being said, I also want to add this. You're not being an artist to chase money. No. Now, this whole video kind of makes it seem like I'm glorifying money, or like, I don't know if someone is listening to this video that wasn't an artist that now wants to become an artist just for money. Bullshit. You're not, no. The reason I'm talking about this is because someone needs to say it. These successful artists aren't talking about how well they're doing. Sure, you might notice it by they have a couple new shiny things, but they're not talking about it. We need to stop perpetuating the lies that the previous generation told us that artists don't make money. That's cap. Being an artist is a legitimate career in this day and age. Being an artist is one of those careers that is just, it's projected to keep growing. I don't see an end in sight. The entertainment industry it keeps booming, it's going up. YouTube, animation, comic books, they're not slowing down. Creatives and artists are always gonna be needed. Don't chase the money. This is not for the money. Basically, I want you guys who are artists, genuine aspiring artists, to want to make money so you can keep drawing. Because I understand what it's like to be an artist but have to work other jobs just to feed yourself. We don't want that. We want to spend our life doing what we're passionate about. But that being said, that's pretty much all I have for you. Thank you all for watching this video. I truly appreciate it if you got to the end. And yeah, I didn't say this in the video because I forgot to, but I'll say it now. Obviously, I myself, I'm not on that like Ross Draws level. I don't even consider myself successful by any means, at least not yet. But like I said earlier, I have done the research. And if you are watching this video and you're still struggling to accept that artists, yes, those same artists that our parents told us don't make any money, they can make doctor money. Let me put that into perspective for you, okay? At the moment of me recording this, okay, these right here on the screen are my current YouTube and Instagram numbers. And as you can see, it's obviously puny. It is minuscule. It is tiny compared to a lot of artists out here. But on my personal best month, I made $1.2 thousand, right? Now that necessarily isn't even enough to live on for a month, right? Especially if you have rent or you have a pet or whatever. But that's a good amount of money made from drawing. And keep in mind, I'm still a full-time student, right? And I also have another job. You know what I mean? And my numbers are tiny. Now think about the people with hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of dedicated followers. What do you think they're raking in? And on top of all of that, I'm not even monetized on YouTube yet. I think everyone knows YouTubers make a decent living. It's not all extravagant, but they make a decent living. It's some people's whole job. But whatever, hopefully that example in this whole video was enough to inspire you to get started on the steps to success as an artist. Make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe as well, because those help a fat ton. And lastly, make sure to leave a comment because I respond to every single comment. Till next time, nerds, it's DD Mark. Peace.